Today we are going to dive into how much does it cost for me to get into the United States as an international student. I'm going to take you through all you need from your application up to you getting the visa in your hands. Let's dive into it, and I'm going to add and all that in the open calculator, and by the end of this video you'll know how much it costs. Let me assure you, it's not as expensive as you think. It's so cheap. I spent $535 in all my applications till I had my visa, and I'm going to tell you 4 more of my friends who have spent the same. So I'm going to break down the costs that you may need. The costs may be more depending on the school that you choose and the path that you take. So let's start. The first part is university applications. So where do the costs come in? The first cost is on application fee. Most universities in the US require application fee, and why is it important? Because once you send in your applications, people are going to spend a lot of time sorting all this together, and all this is costs. Therefore, it's important that you pay an unrefundable application fee. Depending on the university that you're applying, there are some universities that will charge you $50 for application, others will charge you $100, others $125. Average cost is $75 or $70 for most universities. So we'll go for application fee with $75. That is if you are applying to one university. I applied to 14 schools and I paid 0 application fee because I got application fee waivers, and I have talked on how you can get application fee waivers on my other videos in this channel, so you can make sure to watch out that. If you do your research right, all these application fee can be waived and you don't need to pay any application fee for any university that you are applying for. Most universities will be 75 or 70, so let's go with 75. There's something else. There are some universities that will want you to send them or mail your transcript to them so that they can have like physical copies of certified transcripts. So most universities won't require you to do this. They'll require you to do this after you've gotten admission to that particular university. Sending transcripts to this university depends on where you are geographically in the globe, and most carriers will charge you between $30 to $60 for you to send these. So let's roughly put it at $45, or let's go with the highest at $50. The other part is English tests. Some universities will need you to do this English proficiency test, especially if you're not from an English-speaking countries or you don't qualify to get waivers for this standardized test. So there are different standardized tests offered by different bodies, but these are the costs. It averagely will cost you like $190, or if you go to IELTS, which is mostly accepted in UK universities or like Commonwealth friendly countries, but TOEFL in the US is widely accepted. So that is, for TOEFL it's $190, for IELTS it's $178, and there's a cheaper option which is Duolingo test. Like, there are so many universities, more than 4,000 universities accepting this test. So if you didn't know this, this is a pro tip that you can go for a cheaper test, which is Duolingo test, and it's fast, it's cheap, and accepted by more than 4,000 universities in the US. So you can go for this option, which is $49, depending on what you'll need, but I see most students go for IELTS, which is $190, and that will be an addition of $190. The other thing now is entrance exams. So for undergraduates, there are SATs, SATs, GRE, GMAT, depending on what you are going to study. So for those who are going for graduate programs, that is like PhDs and masters, you'll need GREs. For those who are going for like some business graduate studies, you will need GMAT. So these options, you may not need them, but if you reached the limits and you have to do them so that you can get into a particular university, then you don't have any choice, but you may not need them. So for SATs, it's like $60. For SATs, it's $68. For GREs, depending on the body that you're using to do them. For GREs, it's like $205. For GMAT, depending on, you can actually check this, but let's go with GRE, which is done by so many people. So all these costs that I'm giving you is on the highest end. So if you go with GREs, that is like $105. So the other thing that you will need to do is document translation, that is like credential evaluation. So this is something also that comes with a cost. So with this particular thing, sometimes it's good if you do it. I did not do it, but it gave me really a hard time to navigate through these processes, because I used to go through all the things. I write my CVs, I've written my transcript, I've done everything, but when I reach at this particular point, I'm stuck, and that means that I have to leave that university and start looking for another university that don't require evaluation of transcripts. What does evaluation of transcript do, and how does it help you? Even before the university needs it, it's something that is going to help you, like it will show you where you are, like what you have, because most of the universities where we come from or where we did our undergraduates, either it was on a British education system whereby you are given your upper division, lower divisions. So when it comes to getting into a US university whereby you need to show your GPA on a scale of 4.0, it's really hard like to gauge where you are. But if you go ahead and do transcript evaluation, then you'll be able to know where you are, because most graduate programs and PhDs and master's admission will require you like to have a GPA of 3.0. Most people choose WES, and their services range from $160 to $220. So now we are going to add $220. Then now, after doing transcript evaluation, now the other part is the visa fees. These ones are mandatory. I did not have to deal with all the others, but these ones, it's not easy for you to evade them. So there are two categories, that is the SEVIS fee, and then you have the F1 visa interview fee. That you don't need to pay the SEVIS fee early, but when you are booking an appointment, you will need to first pay your visa interview fee, and that visa interview fee is $185, so plus $185, and the SEVIS fee is $350 at the moment. You add that to your amount, that is $350. Sometimes when you're going there, you will need like some logistics. You are traveling to the embassy, you are putting in you are doing your passport photos, you are printing things here and there. So I've not added those costs over here, but what I've given you is like what you need from your application to getting the visa. So if you walk into the visa and you get the visa, then this is the cost that you'll have incurred. What will make these costs go up is the number of schools that you'll be applying to, and the number of times that you're going to send scores, your standardized test scores. So that will make this go up. But all the costs that I've done here is for one university. It will amaze you, because I've talked to friends who wanted to go to Europe, and the amount of money that they tell me that they have spent in their applications is a lot of money compared to what you can spend up to getting a US visa. So sometimes it seems very hard, but I always recommend people to explore US because it's easier for you to navigate through, and it's not expensive compared to other countries. That I've been with friends who have spent up to $10,000, up to $5,000, and still did not get the visas to those countries that they are going to. Remember what I've said, the cost that I've put here is if you're doing it yourself. Sometimes when you go to agencies or there is somebody who's involved in helping you do this, then the cost can go up. So as per now, for you, from your application to your visa, you'll have spent $1,275. But let's say you managed to navigate through all these others, you received waivers, you chose universities that don't need standardized tests or evaluations, then you will only need to pay your SEVIS application, your SEVIS fee, and your visa interview appointment fee, and that is $535. So actually you can apply and get admitted and get a US visa with only $535. If the cost is what was preventing you from doing this, know that you can use $535 for you to get your US visa. And you actually don't need these to start an application, so you need these towards the end. You can get a scholarship and be admitted into a US universities without this amount. You'll have spent, like, the money that you will spend is only money to buy your internet and time to look for schools. Make sure that you watch out other videos in my channel, because I talk about getting admissions and getting opportunities abroad. See you in the next video, and make sure that you subscribe.